Hello, my name is Tiara Sargeant, and I am a student with the NABJ Student Project on the PR team. And today we have the one and only Roland Martin. So how are you doing?
All good.
So can you tell us a little bit about that workshop that you just came from, about enhancing our involvement on Facebook, and for those people who missed it?
Well, it was about how do you use social media, how do you use Facebook, how do you use live streaming to build your brand and also drive content. And I think a lot of times people just sort of do things and they're not actually putting the thought process behind it in terms of why am I doing this specifically. And so same thing is what I talked about for me when it comes to live streaming my speeches, when it comes to live streaming different news events I'm at. It's not just fun stuff, which I also do that as well, but it's just being real clear in terms of the different platforms and how to use it to be able to build your brand.
Okay. And then tomorrow you're moderating a panel on the survival of HBCUs in the Trump era. So can you tell us your thoughts on the state of higher education in the Black community now?
Well, the real issue for HBCUs is not necessarily what the hell Donald Trump is doing. The real issue is you're seeing the turmoil when it comes to switching presidents left and right, when it comes to graduates not giving, when only 5% of Florida A&M graduates give to the university. That's a problem. Howard University president said it was 3.7% when he got there, now it's 10%. I did a panel with the president of Wilberforce University. It was 1% when he got there. That means 1% of all of their graduates were given to the university. Now it's at 9%. And so one of the reasons many of the HBCUs are dying is because their alumni are not adequately giving back to the university to sustain those universities. And so it's one of the reasons why I launched hashtag HBCU Giving Day to focus on that. To sort of just, and then what has happened is there are people who go, oh my God, you're right, you know what, I haven't given and to give now. And so that's really what the whole point of it was. And so that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. How do you position HBCUs not only when it comes to content, when it comes to being in media in terms of using them as sources, but also getting people to understand that we don't fund our own institutions and they'll fail.
Yes, definitely. So even going broader on HBCUs, how do you encourage students to get their voice out when they feel like their administrators might not stand with their missions when dealing with the Trump administration or others?
Well, but again, no, it's not just with Trump. I mean, HBCU students are doing that because they're maximizing social media. You're able to build up sort of resonance, if you will, by using those sort of different media platforms to gain the attention of people on the outside. See, everything is not, I have to do an inside game. You can do an outside game that drives inside. And so that's one of the things that we're actually seeing. But again, what I still tell people is you still have to organize and mobilize in a collective way. So it's not just, well, I don't like this, or you don't like it, and you don't like it. Well, then find how you're now organizing and mobilizing those voices to be able to create change. That's infrastructure. That's actually movement building. A lot of times we focus on the outrage or the response to something, but not the building aspect.
So going on that building aspect, so when our administrators are Trump delegates or even don't even agree with our movements within our HBCUs.
But they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, okay, you have to understand. If I'm an administrator, my job is different from yours.
Okay.
My job is to keep the doors open.
Okay.
So again, you keep talking about Trump. Look, if you are a president of a university and you're getting research dollars, you're dealing with no matter who is in the White House. You're dealing with no matter who is in there. Okay, who screwed HBCUs the most? Obama did with the Parent Plus loan decision. 15,000 to 25,000 HBCU students did not come back to college. There was a loss of nearly $200 million out of HBCU campuses because of that very decision. They didn't got nothing to do with Trump. So again, I think what happens is we lose sight of also what our responsibility and our job is. If you are a president of a university or board of trustees, your job is to keep the doors open. Your job is to raise money. Your job is to be able to sort of bring in those resources. So as a student, you might have one thing you're concerned about. If I'm the president, I got to be concerned about the students, the faculty, the alumni, the staff, keeping doors open. And so I think a lot of times we forget that in terms of what people's roles are and what they have to do. And so again, if there's something that students don't agree with, fine, voice your concern, but do understand there are going to be those times when they are making decisions that you're going to disagree with. There's a reason they're making those decisions.
Okay, thank you. So maybe students shouldn't worry about enhancing their relationships with their administrators, just mobilize.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is it's understanding what somebody is doing and why they're doing it. So there were students who protested when Betsy DeVos spoke at the Bethune-Cookman graduation. Fine, okay? But university invited her. Got it. Okay, so guess what happened? People protested, people made their feelings known, and then, of course, the president, he's stepped down, he's retired, okay? Was it tied to that? We don't know. Was he planning on doing that anyway? We don't know. That's people letting their feelings be known. But it's sort of like, perfect example. You could be a Howard University student, then you can say, well, I don't want to talk to Trump, I want to talk to Paul Ryan. A third of your entire budget comes from the federal government. There are only 2 universities in America that have this special distinction that Howard University has. So if you think that you are not going to have a relationship with Speaker of the House Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and the President, when 1/3 of your entire budget comes from the federal government, you better damn well have a relationship with members of Congress. See, again, that's understanding the nuances of so again, so in the case of Howard, they have relationships no matter who is in the White House. In fact, that was a cut to their annual allocation that was restored by Republican leadership. So if you're a student at Howard and you're telling the president, don't deal with Republicans, he's saying, are you out of your mind? When I get more money every year from the federal government than I do from graduates. See, again, that's understanding that look, people have different roles and responsibilities.
Thank you. So that helps me as a Hampton student learning the different roles and how to better mobilize. So I appreciate your advice. Can you tell our audience how they can join the conversation tomorrow?
Obviously, they can follow on social media, the hashtag for the convention. Also follow us on the NABJ feed and also at Roland Martin.
All right, thank you.
Groovy.
I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.